Hello, my name is Paige Turner. In this video, we will learn about the Map Repeating Table Data business rule. This rule allows you to copy data from one repeating table to another repeating table within the same flow. You can map data from identical or different tables. Let's say that in the expense flow, the first step belongs to the employee who enters information in the Other Expense Details table. And in the second step, using the Map Repeating Table rule, the administrator can see the detail in the table in his step. To do this, we have to create the mapping between the two repeating tables. Let's take a look at the rule settings. In the title box, you can define a title for your rule, which you can change by simply deleting the text and inserting your own text. In the event field, you determine when the rule is executed. For example, you can use this rule on the flow loaded event, flow or step started or completed event, and for questions it can execute when the question is updated. The rule condition section allows you to control when the rule is executed. If you don't set any conditions, the rule will execute automatically. If you set conditions, then the rule will only execute when the conditions are met. In the Rule Action section, select the repeating table that you will get data from. You can map to repeating tables within the same step or in different steps. When you click on the Source Repeating Table field, a drop-down list with all steps that have repeating tables will appear. We need to select the Other Expense Detail table from the first step. In the Target Repeating Table field, you need to choose the repeating table you would like the data to be copied to. When you click on the field Target Repeating Table, you will also see a drop-down list with all the steps that have repeating tables. Select the Other Expense Detail table, but this time do it in the Administrator step. In this rule, you have different options on how data between the tables can be mapped. You can either append, overwrite, or merge rows in the destination repeating table. In this example, we will use the overwrite option. In the append rows means that the data from the source repeating table will be copied and placed after the last row of the target repeating table. Overwrite rows means the data from the source repeating table will be copied and will replace all the data in the target repeating table. And merge rows means that all the rows from the source repeating table will be copied and will replace the first rows of the target repeating table. As an example, if the source repeating table has 3 rows and the target repeating table has 5 rows, then the target repeating table will contain the first 3 rows from the source repeating table, and the last 2 rows will remain unchanged. Here, we set the rule on the Question Update event. It executes when we click the Yes button on the Map Tables Choice question. In the last section, we need to specify which columns should be copied from the destination to the target repeating table. For each question from which you want to copy data, you have to set the source and the target question. In the Set Target Question field, select the question in which you want the information to be copied to. When you click on the arrow, it will show you a drop-down list with all the questions in the selected target repeating table. In the Set Source question, select the question where data that has to be copied from is located. When you click on the arrow, it will show you a drop-down list with all the questions in the selected source repeating table. When you want to bring data from one repeating table to another repeating table, make sure the target and the source question types are identical. If you check the Stop Evaluation option when this rule validates, no further rules will be executed. When the rule is executed, the data from the source question will be copied into the target question. The rule is executed for each row in the repeating table. So if you have 5 rows in the source repeating table, all these rows will be copied into the target repeating table. Now, let's take a look at an example where we map data from different tables in different steps. In this example, we have 3 steps: technical step, purchasing step, and sales step. Each step has a repeating table with 4 questions. On the first step, only the first column of the table should be filled in by the technical department. The second column of the table in step 2 should be filled in by the purchasing department. And the third one in step 3 by the sales department. The last question is a calculated question which adds up all the columns. After the technical step is submitted, data becomes read-only. Purchasing has to see and complete the data inserted by the technical department. After the purchasing step is submitted, data becomes read-only. Sales has to see and complete the data inserted by the technical and purchasing departments. All 3 rows from the purchasing step are copied to the sales step. To set this up, follow these steps. Create 3 steps: technical, purchasing, and sales. Create a repeating table in each step. The same repeating table can be used. First, add a map repeating table rule on the technical step. We will map just one question. As only the first question in the table is filled out, you need to select technical department in the source questions from the technical repeating table. Then you select technical department in the target question purchasing repeating table. Add the second rule in the purchasing step. They fill in the second column of the table purchasing department question, but you also have data filled in the previous step. In this case, in the mapping area, you have to select the first and second questions in both the source from purchasing repeating table and target questions from the sales repeating table. This time we will select overwrite rows as a mapping type. Create 3 steps. Now you know how to use the map repeating table business rule. Thank you for watching this video.